welcome to week one of League Zero season five now. Yeah, season five now. And this is intermediate, our first match of the season, with this great holiday weekend. We got, we say, glory to Louisiana Lobsters, Crab Rave, except Lobster Rave in this case, and the Melbourne Midnights. And I'm joined today by my play-by-play caster, Dexatron.
Thank you so much, man. Hey, I am glad to be here. First time for myself here casting for League Zero, and man, have I been looking forward to it for a while.
Man, I'm excited to be back, excited to have you because we cast in flux a bit. But as you were talking to me about the show, you don't know a ton of these players, so as we get started, I'll start kind of talking about the teams if you're ready to go.
Yeah, let's get into it. There is one name and there is another name that I recognize in the lobby right now, but other than that, all these players are brand new to me, so that is very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I assume you know Tanic B because they played in Flux. So did Laser and Swifters. But Tanic B is really notable for you at least because he was Apprentice MVP in Flux Cup, which, very good player, very solid DPS. I think going into after the draft, Lobsters have the most question marks because like Hoams, with the whole thing about their off tank getting banned before the season started. Now, so they brought in Naomi or Ghost to play. So it'll be interesting to see how they adapt. And one big thing is like their captain turned manager base is actually on the bench, and a lot of people just assumed he would start because he's a main support. And I'm assuming Archivist is going to be starting at main support, which I know was their like original role. I want to say, before I know they were DPS for a time. I know that now. So I would consider the Lobsters definitely the underdog in this game, Dex. But the Midnights coming out of the draft, in my personal like tier power rankings, I have them like number one. Laser is just a really good DPS. Swifters is MVP caliber DPS, but I see that they're down Stratocaster. They're normal. I assume they're normal main support. So they have Swifters on main support, which is his original role actually before he swapped to DPS. So I think they should be doing fairly well. So I'm excited to see. You have some newcomers of different roles like Monty or Noct in lobby is going to be playing DPS, which they really only started playing recently in Tranquility for actually the marsupial team Koala Kings. Wait, oh, nice, they did a scrim code.
Oh, fun.
Wow. Hey, NA host, we all type NA host. I want to see NA host in chat now because that's the NA host moment.
Yeah, but going off based on a lot of things you were saying there, you were surprised that Bass isn't starting off as the main support here for his team now. Maybe this is a strategy. Maybe they're trying to catch the Midnights off guard a little bit here. Try to get them just a little bit confused on what the Lobsters are going to be doing coming in this one, because as you said, the Lobsters have kind of had a little bit of a rocky road since that draft.
1000%. I mean, like, it also could be like what's been working script. Well, why it's not Hanama right now. What works well in scrims, what has been happening, like maybe like Archivist just is more to IGL, but I know Tanic is like known as like an IGL DPS, and playing with him, I call him Tanic mid or mid B or Tanic fraud, but he does do the talking, he does do the planning, so he's a smart player, one of the few DPS I know that can really IGL and DPS at the same time. So we'll see how this goes. Like I think if Melbourne loses today, it'll be a large upset. I don't think it's going to happen at this juncture, but I'm a little more hopeful for Louisiana than most people are, the Lobsters.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first game of the season. Every team, I imagine, is going to have a little bit of a rough patch to start out of here because it is the first real competition that we are going to be seeing from both these teams. While, yeah, they have had scrims and probably with a couple of the other teams in this league or with teams outside of this league, this is their first real competition.
Yeah, and it was we Brawl Mirror, but this Melbourne's opting for the Doomfist sim while Lobsters are doing the more traditional sim May. So it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see both teams using that TP to get to the point first. No one necessarily going to the side room to start everything off. Want to fight on point like men, and I honestly kind of respect that. Just absolutely going in. Laser finds Tanic out first, and down goes the Immortality Field for the Lobsters, and everything's just starting to go the way of the Midnights at the moment right now. Epic shot collapsing in, finding the opposite Reinhardt of Holmes, and finds Stick Drift, and just look at that. The annihilation coming out from the Midnights here to start.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like with the Doomfist, you're playing so much faster, and they just honestly took space really aggressively. Manu got in there and displaced a ton of them, and then Assassin was able to do really well and just capitalize on that and kill the Baptiste. And I don't know why you're on Zarya. Why are you on Zarya?
It's an interesting swap here. Let's see how it works out. Noct finds Tanic, but Holmes finally picks up the first kill for the Lobsters. However, the kills continue to go the way of the Midnight. Down goes Holmes. Don Wegler's out. Noct finds Naomi, and Laser finds Stickers, and a team kill coming out here from the Midnight. Already a quarter of the way through this point right now for them, and they have just looked dominant.
I don't know why. Like, I don't really know what value the Zarya gets when this team, like, when they're playing Doomfist, they're playing so fast with you, it's hard to maintain charge as the Zarya. And
Oh my goodness. Laser finding one out early, and look at this. 4 more members go down. They just have to get the Lucio here to get the team kill, but we do see Arc get back to the spawn just in time to not have another team kill, and the Midnights have ticked over 50% already.
Yeah, this is going to be, like, the really interesting bit of... Now they're just going to be able to keep rotating ults. And see the window... Oh, the matching windows, though.
BAP windows coming out from both sides. Meteor Strike coming out from Noct. Not able to find anything other than the Immortality Field, but Stick Drift does find Noct out. Maybe this could be an opening that the Lobsters need here. Bomb coming out from Assassin. Only able to find Dong out. Huge shatter coming out from the Lobsters. 3 members of the Midnight caught out, but the kill's still trying to go the way of the Midnight. Beat coming out from both Lucios here. Swifters does take out Holmes, as we do see the Midnight here kind of stabilize this fight right now. Only 2 members left alive make that 1 member left alive for the Lobsters, and make that none, as at that point right now, I believe this should be the first point going over to the Midnight.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if they touch, honestly. Oh, Tanic gets a touch somehow. But it's honestly just really... sloppy target focus coming from the Lobsters. Again, I question the Zarya pick. Why do you go Zarya versus a comp that really just wants to run you over?
Yeah, it was a really interesting pick. Just didn't work out for them there. Maybe there was something like they wanted to try to see if they could get a charge built up fast enough. Maybe get that grab as soon as they possibly could. But they still had many counters to Zarya there. It just didn't work out for them. And I just don't know necessarily what they were really thinking.
I mean, like, maybe you're just trying to play a carry, like a cover pick to, like, try and get high energy and do it, but it's just really hard to do it against a Doomfist. Like, as a D.Va, you're able to punish a Doomfist, I feel like, a lot more, like, easily, because they are able to just chase after them as they engage, eat the shots and everything. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. We do see Laser stick on that Symmetra for the moment. Probably just gonna be a TP and a swap, and that looks like is the case. Swapping over to the Soldier right now. The Lobsters coming out with a very more interesting comp, in my opinion. A Sombra for them, and more of a dive focused comp, but the same could be said for the Midnights right now as well.
Really great target. I just made a comment about the target focus, and immediately the 6-man composition just explodes the Zen break. This is, like, personally my problem with ball comp in general, is that it takes a lot of coordination to your backline not to explode. And now, like, you see Monty and Laser getting picks, but it doesn't really matter at this juncture because they lost the fight. And so now they can just hold and wait to basically explode the Zen and bring again, and they don't have, like, any ult charge outside of Soldier.
Yeah, Laser able to get almost his visor there in that first fight. The Midnights, though, finally showing some signs of life after that abysmal first point for them.
Yeah, I mean,
visor comes out here from Laser, not able to find anyone yet. Tanakby does find Goth Girl out, and the mech for Assassin. Fight happening here on point right now, as it almost does get swapped over here. Noct trying to do whatever they can, as Assassin does find Tanakby, but Holmes finds Assassin right back to get that trade out of the way. Huge team fight here still happening on point, as Dong finds Swifters. Laser does find Archivist, but Naomi comes right back and finds Noct. Minefield coming out from Epic Shock right now. Just trying to, I guess, find any stray member of the Lobsters out, but nothing necessarily coming from that.
Yeah, I mean, really good, like, just targets there, and Laser got really no value from the visor, and so they, like, Tanic just literally walked on their backline, killed the Zen, D-Mech. Like, Assassin Bolt needs to not die there. I like, especially when the Reaper's by himself, like, in your supports. I wasn't really seeing there what exactly happened, but to get that value, even though Tanic dies for it, you're able to just capitalize and just win.
Yeah, Beat coming out. Huge EMP finds 5 members of the Midnight here. Will anyone fall from it at the moment? No, the answer is no. Laser pops his visor. He got that back really fast. Finds Stick Drift Bomb coming out from Naomi. Holmes is angry right now, popping that Primal Rage. Nothing comes from that bomb, but Assassin Bolt is able to find Tanakby. We are starting to see the Midnight finally have some footing on this point so far. However, actually, no, they continue to find kills. Holmes does find Laser out, but that's really it right now, as Assassin Bolt and Goth Girl are able to pick up 2 more members of the Lobster, but it will tick over into overtime before the Midnight are able to flip the point.
You know, I complimented their focus fire in the first fight when they exploded the backline, but as soon as they swapped to Rush, which is now what Melbourne's on, it feels like it evaporated. They hit that 5-man EMP, nothing dies. How does nothing die when you hit a 5-man EMP? Like, you need to kill something. And nothing happened. I don't know where the disconnect was.
Oh, huge shatter coming out from Epic Shock. He falls from it. Laser finds 2. Death Blossom coming out from Cappy. Does find Swifters, but mostly gets Ian Bomb coming out from Assassin Bolt right there. As Arc does find Goth Girl, but Assassin Bolt Bomb finds Holmes. Laser continues, goes and finds Naomi. And right now, everything going the way of the Midnight right now. Laser finds the last 3 kills to pretty much end that team fight there.
Wow. I like the Blizzard in theory. I mean, sorry, the Blossom in theory. It's just when they have so many ults coming in, because they're able to sustain, but they only use tank ults. They don't even use their DPS ults or the window or anything. So they have a ton of tools going into this. But I like the swaps.
Yeah, window coming out. Blizzard also coming out. The Blizzard not finding anyone, but is going to be used as a good tool to force the Lobsters into certain positions, as 2 members of the Lobsters have already fallen at this point. Make that 3 as Stick Drift falls. Laser going in, finding the 4th member of Dong Waggler there, and the 5th and 6th fall as well, and we could see a 99-0 reverse sweep right now for the Midnight right now. They have been dominant, and they have the ultimates to go with it right now.
I don't know what that Blizzard was, Monty. Please never do that again. That being said, really good fight from them. Even though it did force out some ultimates, the Lobsters have a window here with Beat and Bomb coming in. It's just, they're struggling with the aggression.
Beats coming out from both sides to start off this fight. Shatter coming out. Blossom coming out as well. Laser finds 4 with that Blossom. Bomb from Assassin Bolt. Or, no, from Naomi doesn't find anyone, but Assassin Bolt does find 1. And it won't matter as the Midnights take the first map of Oasis.
Oh, wow. I got really no words there. It's just the overall pace set by Melbourne was insane. Just especially as soon as they fought the brawl like this, they just build shadow, they commit, and then you have no way to stop Laser's Blossom. What do you do there if you're Lobsters? The entire time, Melbourne is just basically holding close, making it so there's no real comfortability on the side of Lobsters. So you are continually under pressure, not able to move forward.
Yeah, honestly, it just seemed like the Lobsters really struggled to find anything there on Oasis. They got absolutely rolled in University Center, in University on that first point. Just weren't able to get anything. Made a couple questionable swaps as well there. And then they finally got what seemed to be, they came to life there on that second point. They actually had it all the way up to 99%. Then we saw the Midnights finally come alive on that second point and just kind of dominate from there on out.
Yeah, I mean, the ball comp got exposed. Mm-hmm. And then they did a really good job with that, but as soon as it got to the rush mirror, it felt like Lobsters didn't know what to do because they didn't know how to temper aggression or to they didn't cycle their ults very effectively. It felt like they were trying to make a bunch of hero individual plays.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like they were making swaps, but they were making the swaps probably 1 or 2 fights too late there. As for that last about 50%, they really did not have an ultimate ready to go up until, the Midnights were already so close to winning the map.
Yeah. It is sometimes quite strange. When you're playing 6-man into the rush mirror, or into the brawl, right? I also don't know why they go to King's Row, I'll be honest, after just getting rolled in the brawl mirror. But the reason you do, the reason it can work is because once you have EMP, you need to get kills. It felt like the biggest problem was pacing and focus fire. As soon as we went to Brawl here, like it feels like when they were playing into like the ball comp, they had like a really nice understanding of like what they wanted to do. But as soon as they got into the rush v rush, or like basically who's playing faster, who has better focus fire, they lost.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's. Sorry,
go ahead. No, you go. Finish.
I don't know if that says more about Melbourne or more about the Lobsters. Like, how does it say more about how bad Melbourne's ball comp is, or more about how good their brawl is, or how bad Lobsters brawl is?
Let's just split it halfway and say, yes for both. But you brought up a good point there. We saw the Lobsters have a 5-man EMP, which they converted 0 kills from. Whenever you get an EMP that hits that many people, you need to at least be winning that team fight. And that moment right there flipped the entire momentum for the game in the favor of the Midnights, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think just overall they look like a better team. That's all I really got.
Yeah, we're not seeing any. Oh, actually, no, we are seeing a sub come in here now for the Lobsters. Bass does come in, Base does come in finally. We're seeing him come in for, I believe it was.
It was Base came in for Archivist. Yeah. So maybe this is like they plan to run. Okay, it looks like they're about to run Bulldozer, which if you ever been on a marsupial team, I do love me some Bulldozer on King's Row. I love me some Bulldozer. It's kind of fun. It's just ooga booga, run at them. And I feel like in this case, like when you're playing it versus like you're playing the traditional Mei Cass. Oh, and we also saw, so now Monty is on main support and Monarch's on flex support. So I guess they're rotating who plays what now for them, which is, I mean, it makes sense because both, funnily enough, Monty and Swifters are both ex-main supports. But we'll see if they rotate effectively and play back versus this Bulldozer comp from Lobsters.
Yeah, it all really comes down to who makes the first mistake, and that is a nice ice wall coming out. However, we do see Dong able to just hop over that as Monarch finds Tannic out first. The first mistake going the way of the Lobsters there as they do fall first here, or at least lose a member early. However, they are keeping up the fight, and with Dong falling there, they might just back into their spawn. However, Naomi's going to get de-mech'd here and going to get staggered out by Laser.
Wow, this kind of the thing, like, they kind of messed up by the engage by a really nice wall from Swifters, and then after that, like, as soon as you lose that initial engage punching power from Bulldozer, it becomes really hard to win. This Cass May just has more sustain and longer fight. But Stick Drift, though, key here, does have window way before Monarch.
Yeah, and here it comes, already an opening act. I thought we were going to see that come out early. It's actually in a really awkward spot. Won't necessarily get a lot of use, but it is forcing the Lobsters or the Monarchs or Midnights to play around a corner. However, 3 straight kills coming out from them here. Look at that, make that 4 or 5, and all they need to do, actually, no, they got the team kill there as Base fell very early in that fight.
I was talking about pacing first map, and they're not walking forward. They all stayed to shoot around the window, when in reality they should have just kept pushing the momentum and just let Stick stay back to use the window to heal, and they just did not do that. They kind of just all sat there and lost the poke war to the better poke comp that is the Cass May.
Yeah, but one thing going into this fight here, Blizzard coming out from Swifters, it finds 2 out, and it make that 3 as Tannic, Dong, and Holmes are all in that. Dong falls. There goes Tannic and Holmes, all 3 members that were frozen fall. Naomi gets D-mech there, and the rest of the Lobsters are pretty much dead at this point, as another team kill is going to come out for them here in 2 consecutive fights.
Yeah, wow. There's, like, not a lot I can say there other than really nice, like, Blizzard from Swifters. They don't, like, as you see, support, like, Base still doesn't have beat, and there's nothing you can really do there. Also, where the heck is Tannic? Why is Tannic? Oh, no.
Shatter coming out, finds 2 lasers, able to take care of Dong. High Noon coming out from Laser. 5 members of the Lobsters fallen. Naomi the only one. They're gonna probably stagger them a little bit. Actually, no, they just decided to take him out right away. But one thing you were talking about before that team fight started there, or I want to kind of mention, just look at the ultimates right now. The Midnights have been able to constantly keep half their team ready to go with ultimates. We're finally starting to see the Lobsters get some of theirs ready.
Yeah, like Swifters is gonna have another Blizzard soon. While base is just now getting to their beat. You know, they're gonna have another shatter soon. Oh, I would run away. Why? Oh, we went to that.
Dueling windows at the moment right now. Who's gonna get the most use out of it? Dong popping his meteor strike, trying to find anyone. Bomb coming out from Naomi. Dong actually, oh, what a nice play coming out from the Lobsters. They might need that here to finally get something going. Shatter Blizzard coming out from each team right now. And able to find Swifter's bomb coming out from Assassin. Able to find base out early, or out in this engagement right now. Finally starting to get a little bit of percentage right now are the Lobsters. They need to get a tick here to at least have this map go at least something in their way. Blizzard coming out from Tanakby does find one. Naomi and Dong able to find 2 members of the Midnights out. And right now they're finally starting to get enough pressure on the Midnights here to probably fully cap this first point.
Yeah, really good. They kind of all just pressed Q, but I will say, like, really nice pin bomb. Like, the pin was perfect. It took down the shield at just the right moment. And so now you see Dong going, though, to the cast, and we're going to see more of a traditional matchup. But Swifters went to the Soldier. I don't know if he'll stay, but knowing Swifters, though, he will probably knowing Swifters.
Yeah. 2 ultimates already ready for the side of the Midnights here. I wonder if we're going to see that Shatter come out here early in this engagement. Stick Drift did have the window ready, and a huge high noon from Laser finds 2 right after he finds Stick Drift. Monarch finds the 4th. 5th and 6th all fall for the Lobsters, and another team kill here for the Midnight. Make that the 3rd team kill already of King's Row.
I would say that Naomi needs to do a better job of keeping track of these like large off angles, or like you either need to do that as a diva, or we just need fully commit. But I like this clearing high ground. I like this call to try and clear high ground.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of that. Really, the only one that's sticking up there is Knocked at the moment, and they're going all the way around. Window coming out from Stick Drift.
Big.
Holmes finds Epic Shock main shield down right now. Here comes the counter window from the Midnights right now. We do see the Lobsters trying to push far back into their own spawn right now, just to try to take care of some of the members of the Midnights out, but nothing going their way right now. Swifter's popping his visor, Assassin Bolt finding 2. Swifter's able to get the DMAC onto Naomi as the Blizzard does come out from Tanakby there just to try to get something going their way. But look at this, the Midnights are still able to kind of contest this card right now, and they'll be able to, as Epic Shock is able to get back, and they'll still be able to just stay here at Arches.
Yeah, I feel like people got really split. Like, again, it doesn't feel like they're coordinated right now. Even though they won that fight largely because of mirror plays from Tanak and Dong. They just need to move a 6, and they're very lucky that the visor didn't even get even more value.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. We're finally starting to see the Lobsters here get a little bit of distance on that card. However, look at the Midnights. 3 ultimates ready. Huge shatter from Holmes, but Laser's high noon finds 2. Trades going out each way. It's even at the moment. 2 members down for each team. It's still anyone's fight at the moment. Tanakby with a huge kill there onto Epic Shock, and we still see the Lobsters continue to push here a little bit. Assassin Bolt getting DMAX is probably the worst thing that could happen right now for the Midnight. Did I hear a window come out from Stick Drift? And yes, I did. He finds Monarch. Naomi finds Assassin Bolt, and look how close the Lobsters are to capping the 2nd point. Swifter's up high along with Knocked, able to get back and contest just in time. Beat coming out from Knocked to keep both Swifter's Laser and Epic Shock. And look at this, Laser finds 2. Epic Shock comes and finds Stick Drift. Holmes finds Swifters, but nothing else going the way of the Lobsters right now, as the members of the Midnight continue to pick them off, only less than 1 meter away, and they won't be able to get back to contest. What a great play there by the Midnights.
I'm not really sure about what I just saw at the end there. Some really nice plays coming out from like Sticks and Tanak and even Dong Wagler. Holmes, I think, is being a little overzealous because you're seeing him get caught out a lot when he tries to pin in, which I understand, like in a Ryan, like, and I also want to say this, for anyone that's seen my Ryan gameplay, I know I need to unbind my shift key. You know, anyone that was on Joey understands what I'm talking about. But it feels like the team is very disjointed, while Melbourne is playing fairly well together, but like you see like a bunch of really nice plays from them in terms of like when Laser stayed alive and came back in. I think Laser has like 9 or something like high noon kills this map because like he keeps just finding these random angles because like the T like truly Lobsters need to push. The reason Lasers to be able to take these off angles because they're not pushing. No one is pushing them. They're just like literally like kind of just looking at each other and nothing's happening. And so thus that allows the cast or Laser just to take creative off angles, which in a like if you're playing slow and brawl, like whoever gets the better off angle wins, or whoever has the better hit scan / diva.
Yeah, honestly, just looking at the stats right now, Laser and Assassin Bolt only died once their entire defensive round there. A great job by them just to stay alive and just to kind of stagger the cart there, just contest the cart. And we're already seeing them come right through. Look at this. Swifter finds Tanikby out early. Naomi able to get a trade right back onto Epic Shock. However, I just don't really think that the Lobsters expected the Midnight to come through that fast. Or they were just a little bit lazy on their own play there. Noct finds another. Swifters finds Holmes. And we could be seeing the Midnights here cap this point incredibly fast and have a large time bank here just to push it to the second point.
Yeah, that's how you really want to play Bulldozer. Like, we talked about how when Lobster struggled to run it, but that's a really good case of, like, how it should be ran by Melbourne, like by MM. They did a really good job. Just they took a short path, they engaged with Doom immediately, and they do not give time to rotate or to, like, they don't give time for a poke phase. But please kill Monty here. Oh no, Monty got out.
He got out. Dong does find Swifters, but Laser coming right back finds Sanic. Blossom coming out from Laser, doesn't find anyone, loses his own life to it, and now we're starting to see the Lobsters get something going there. However, it might be an opportunity, or might be a moment where we're seeing Lasers just pop the ult to make a swap here. It doesn't look like they're doing that. Maybe they thought that they had something there. But
I mean, they got the Diva out of mech, so it's still some value. But Swifters, though...
Not what you want to see. Window coming out from Stickdrift, gonna force the Midnights here to kind of play around this corner, still push the card as much as they can. Laser getting an unfortunate teleport there, only going about 5 feet. Shatter coming out from Epic Shock, only able to find one. The Window now coming out from Monarch. Beat coming out from base to keep them sustained in this fight. It's Shatter being canceled there as Laser takes out Holmes. And look at this, they could have a good opportunity here to push this cart a decent amount of the way. However, the Lobsters are keeping up in this team fight. However, they are losing numbers as fast as I am saying it. Already 4 members of them down. And right now, we're going to see the Midnights go very aggressive here just to try to make sure there's no more contest.
Yeah, in a scrappy fight like that, it's just hard to contest with like DPS that are frankly just outplaying yours at the moment. Oh,
Lizard having to be used here by Tanikby really far back. They need to get to the point right now. Naomi being the one that's trying to get their bomb coming out from both Divas. Assassin Bolts finds two, while Naomi's doesn't find anything. And look how close the Midnights are to ending this map. Only less than a meter away. Shatter coming out from Epic Shock, able to take care of Holmes. Right now, Base doing all he can to keep that cart from going. Dong popping his Death Blossom, not able to find anyone. Ball coming out from Naomi, does find one. However, numbers are low. Laser pops his Death Blossom and finds two, and the Midnights take the second map.
Well, that was some Overwatch.
That was certainly Overwatch.
Play of the game.
It just, like, truly, you see the individual players on Lobsters try and make plays, and, like, I feel like they're not playing horribly individually. It's more so, I feel like this is a macro difference at this point. Like, Melbourne is just playing so much faster, so much more together, or, like, just identifying win cons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Consistently, like, if they're playing the Doom Reaper outside, like I think like 2 times Swifters and Laser kind of fed. The Doom and Reaper are consistently putting pressure and just not letting them have a chance to like reset. While Lobsters are kind of just sitting there and taking it.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It does really seem like the Lobsters. If we look at everyone individually, they would probably be playing good. As a team, they're just not all there together. Maybe what's happened since the draft with the little, controversy that they had did have, and maybe it's still kind of showing right now where they're not necessarily playing together as a full team. However, when we look at the Melbourne Midnights here, you can see a team that, didn't have any controversy. They feel like they are a whole cohesive unit right now. One that is just absolutely scary to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. That's really it. Like it's just that you can tell Melbourne's having fun and just playing very loose, very like, but they're still like playing together, and they're not afraid to take risks because they trust each other. While it feels like Lobsters are afraid to take those risks because no one is really with each other. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and it could just be the first week jitters, but we do know that there has been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for the Lobsters. But again, I'm just gonna lean more on the first week jitters for everyone. First time you're playing in the real competitive setting of the season, so you're gonna always, like I said, just jitters. You're not gonna perform your best. Just get comfortable in the game. It's one game of a long season, and while the Lobsters still do have a chance to win this game, they already do have a lot of stuff that they can look back on.
Yeah. Next map being Rialto, we'll see. If I am Lobsters, I would not run Rush.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna have to come out with something here that they think they can win with. If it is Rush, then you know. But I just have to. They have to show me something here that makes me believe that they can potentially win a map, or at least get it far enough into Rialto that I believe that they can win the map with their defense.
Yeah. I would run double shield. I would run something that like is just very like that you can play split. That's frankly easier to run. Double shield is very easy to run, as long as you all look at each other, like look at the same target. But we will see. Are they giving Monarch a DPS map? I think no shot. No, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Monarch is going to be in it.
No.
I don't think you realize Noct is now a tank. Dawes has come in as a support.
Hayden, I refuse this bullshit. I refuse.
So Noct is now a tank. He was playing, I believe, a support. Monarch is now playing a DPS. So it seems the Midnights here are just gonna have a little bit of fun this map. They know they can give up a map here and still be very comfortable in the overall series. However, right now the Lobsters need to find something, and maybe with all this mix-up on the side of the Midnights, this could be their opportunity to get some momentum in the series.
Yeah. I like the double shield. That's what I got so far. The Arista Diva Pharah, laser on the, I have no words for what I'm watching here. I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of analytics going on because I'm watching Monarch on Ashe. Tannic, if you lose the Monarch on Ashe, you can't come back to Bandicoots. You can't. Oh, sorry.
Tannic is getting low, finally getting healed up here a little bit. Dolls and Lasers doing the pharmacy combo in the sky. However, we do see two direct counters to them on the side of the Lobsters here. The Lobsters going on the high ground right now. However, Laser in the back takes care of Bass, takes care of Stick Drift. Monarch takes care of Holmes, and already 3 members of the Lobsters down here in this fight. Noct finds Tannic. Laser finds Dong, and only Naomi left alive. Does find one, however, Swifters comes right back, and a nice play there from the Midnights.
If you're running double shield here, I'll be honest, unless you have a cracked Zen, you're just gonna kind of get abused. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. Yeah, see, like in Monarch, they consistently. Here we go. I've no words.
Bob already coming out. Holmes does find Laser. Look at this, 3 straight kills going the way of the Lobsters here to start off this team fight. Bob did come out and necessarily didn't do a lot as the last 3 remaining members of the Midnights. Lo-Fi, or Goth Girl throwing that window so far away from where their team was. This could be a first point cap for the Lobsters here if they want to be aggressive here. We do see both their tanks going on the aggression right now. Only have to deal with knocked at the moment. The Pharmacy of Laser and Dolls is flying in there. The Valkyrie being popped here by Dolls to start this team fight, only a meter away. Molten Core being popped by Dong here just to try to get them to that first point. Does find Dolls. Monarch does find Naomi out early, and Dong actually is able to find the Bongo. Tanic finds Laser. Now all the Lobsters need to do is just kind of clean up this fight. Stick Drift finds Swifters. Not the only tank left now for the Midnights. Bob, another Bob coming out. Bob actually gets stunned on the cart, so that's a nice just contested they're gonna have here. Transcendence coming out from base to try to keep his team alive in this fight. Swifter's swapping over to the ball, finding base here, and it somehow, in my opinion, the inevitable did happen here. The Midnights are gonna be able to withstand this push here by the Lobsters and hold them just before capping the first point.
Monarch is just hitting 6-man dynamites off cooldown. Like literally just like 6-man dynamites off cooldown. And they're able to win that because like I feel like Lobsters like didn't want to commit ults because they're like, oh, we can win this without them, and then since they didn't commit them, they lost. I think they only used Flux and Molten Core there, and Flux got canceled. So
actually, I think Naomi swapped over to. Actually, no, you're right. He was. They were on the Sigma. Speaking of, Naomi falls to Laser. Base comes right back and finds Laser themselves. Tanic B finds one with the high noon window coming out from Stick Drift right now. The Midnights are playing smart, just hiding away from that window. Dawes rezzing Monarch there. Holmes finding knocked out. Laser swapping over to the Widow, finding Tanic. That's something I didn't expect to see. Laser finds Dong as well. Only seconds left. Now we're getting into overtime right now. Tanic a little bit mad in the chat. Minefield coming out from Swifters on point. Bob, another Bob. Make that 3 Bobs for Monarch in this fight. And the dynamite kill for Monarch. Swifters finds Holmes. And somehow it seems, in my opinion, that the Midnights are not going to allow the Lobsters here. And oh, Tanic B recalled back before touching the cart. Oh, man.
I have no words.
I'm with you there.
You know, Laser just swapping Widow on first point Rialto. Some might call it like a redeemable moment from when Exodus lost to Double Cap last season. We all remember Laser. Frozen's just better than you. But, you know, nice shots there. You know, when in doubt, just go Widow. Because, like, the first point of Rialto, like, specifically get on that bridge, can just be such a grind because of how easy it is just to live while touching the cart, while getting healed. Unless you have someone that goes on bridge or across bridge, like a Widow or a Tracer or someone, to pressure out the supports, keep them alive on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, someone saying in chat, that is certainly one of the Widows of all times. I have to agree with him there. That is certainly a Widow.
Oh, I think it's a window.
I can't read.
Yeah, I was like, but like I'm watching it, and like right when they're starting to get up, like before Bob even went out, like Base should have used that trans, but they don't, and he uses it like as Tanic dies, and they still almost win it, but like they let the res go off. They're not taking space aggressively. They are just hiding, and they're really playing kind of scary. And I want them to play more like, I guess, like Giga Chad, like, I don't know. But Laser's just going to be on freaking Widow, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, Monarch already finding the turret for Dong out here early. Put it in a very predictable spot, in my opinion, and just Monarch knew right where it was going to be. The Lobsters want to hold this high ground. Swifter trying to do whatever they can as Laser finds Tanic out early with a headshot. Already huge advantage for the Midnights here. And
I don't know why you keep this in. I would have just committed and gone Mercy. Oh no.
Laser going in, finding two more members of the Lobsters fall. Make that 3, and wait, we're starting to see the Lobsters come alive here. Dolls, though, getting punched to death by, or Dolls punching Naomi to death here. Tanic able to find Dolls out. However, that cart is still getting closer and closer to the point.
Yeah, they should have a recontest. I mean, we literally just talked about how easy it is to hold here, but it is not looking good for Lobsters here.
Yeah, 3 minutes for them to hold this last point here. Already about 4 meters they need to get here just to win the map. Holmes does find Monarch out early, who did swap over to that Doomfist. Laser popping the visor so that now they know where everyone is for the Lobsters. However, I already imagine they kind of knew where everyone was going to be, just around that cart. Noct trying to dive in that backline, try to take out anyone, instead gets demeched themselves and will probably fall here relatively soon as Stickdrift does take him out right now. However, 5 members of the Midnights here are just kind of playing it safe and hiding behind just pillars and trees.
You want to play versus the Widow? Like, Widow is really good on defense here, like when you're shooting into the choke, but like shooting as the attacking Widow into this can be rather difficult unless you just land a shot over a shield. And you're seeing it right now. Like, Laser's just having trouble to find angles. Even though, like, whenever he gets an angle, he's kind of hitting it. So,
yeah. Minefield coming out in the back line for the Lobsters here. Swifter's popping that, trying to get anyone to fall back. Laser does take out the turret for Dong. Bomb coming out from Noct. It gets in a really interesting spot. Able to find one, though. Noct, a Monarch able to take out Tannic, and we're starting to see the Midnights here get something going their way. Molten Core coming out on point to try to keep them off the cart right now. 3 members of the Lobsters down. Bongo coming out and Beat coming out from the Lobsters at the moment, just trying to keep anything on the cart. Naomi is demeched and gets punched into a wall and punched by the Diva of Noct. Noct finds Holmes as well. Goth Girl finds one, but it doesn't matter as the Midnights take Rialto.
Wow. And Monarch DPS is undefeated in League 0. That's cursed. That's actually cursed.
What a time to be alive.
No, it's time I wish I was not alive for. Monarch, this doesn't mean you could, this also does not mean I will let you play DPS on Bandicoots either. I have very little words here for that.
You know, I'm kind of in agreement with you. It kind of really did seem like to me that the Midnights just pretty much, like, everything fell into place for them. It's like they knew everything that the Lobsters were going to do before this series even started, and they just never let up.
Yeah, really good team play from Melbourne. They were just a better team tonight. That's really all you can really say. I think I want to say again that, like, Lobsters did have some bright spots. It's just, it was a rough game overall.
Yeah, rough game, but like I kind of said before going into that final map of Rialto there, this is the first week. They have a lot to come back from. And, you know, that first week jitters now out of their systems. They're going to go back. They're going to watch over this game. And they probably already know a lot of the mistakes that they made. And they're going to probably look like an entirely different team coming into that next week.
Yeah, I would agree. I think this is like a good wake-up call. I don't even say, I want to say it's like a wake-up call because, like, they knew that they were going to be I don't want to say, like, definitely an underdog. One of the, like, lower teams in the div, but this just kind of goes to show, like, I think only time will tell if this is really just a tale of how good Melbourne is or how bad Lobsters are. And I think you won't be able to tell that till we watch the rest of the games.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. It's only week 1. So many teams can look like the worst team in the league week 1, and then by week 5...
I'm not giving Swifters an interview. Screw that. No.
Bring him in.
No. Let's give it to Monarch for his DPS map. Pull Monarch in.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna be right back in with someone from the Monarch or
the Melbourne Midnights.
The Melbourne Midnights. I keep on saying Monarchs for some reason.
I mean, they have a player named Monarch.
Yeah, so we're gonna be right back.
we're here with the fable interview of my least favorite plat DPS player, Monarch.
You're my
Um,
least favorite off take, so that makes sense.
I mean, hey, I can only carry you so hard, Monarch, in our UGC games. Um,
Sure.
and then-
And then there's me.
yeah, and then there's Dexter.
He's caught in the
Um,
crossfire.
what?
He's caught in the crossfire.
I know between the Bandicoot Civil War right here. Um, yeah, I my first like why was it always a plan for you to play DPS or was that a spur of the moment thing?
So the plan was not actually for me to play DPS at all. The plan was just to try shuffling people around, and then we decided, what way can we fuck with people's tier list the most? So we started playing shit like we put Swifters on main take, we put Monty on off take, we put me on DPS. We just started kind of just shuffling things around so that no one can make a consistent tier list about us, you know?
Yeah, man, I miss the toxicity sometimes like this. The
That's great.
BM was real. All right, Dex, you can ask your real interview questions now.
Okay, so first game of this season. How good does it just
Mhm.
feel to know that you guys are 1-0 to start off?
It feels really good. Scrims have been going well for us, so it's good to know that our performance there is translating to matches. It also feels great to know that Laser has confirmed like the first kill of season 5, so that's fun.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. So those first two maps were very, very dominant, and we could even say Rialto, even with you guys kind of mixing everything up, was still very dominant. You talked about tier list here. Do you guys think that you guys should be atop of the tier list, or are you guys purposely just trying to make it that you guys are still mid in that tier list?
I think automatically we should be top of the tier list, but if someone wants to make a tier list about us, I don't know where you would put any of us.
I will tell you, you're still the worst DPS I've ever seen, Monarch. That's how I feel.
Hey,
You have not.
at least I'm undefeated.
Okay,
This is
you have
true. This is
not
true.
seen Navino. You have not seen me.
This is true. This is true. I've not seen you play Dex. This is true.
You don't want to know who I mean.
Yeah. I mean, before today, I don't think I've ever seen Monarch on a DPS other than May or Sombra.
Yeah, my May goes hard.
I don't know about that one.
Navino, you have any? I'll let you ask the next question.
I don't really got much. I just like making fun of Monarch. I also wanted to say, Swifters, I didn't give you an interview to spite you.
Unironically, you should have given interviewed a Laser. He popped off this match.
His widow was very good. I talked to you. Remember DC versus Exodus last season? That's what it
Uh,
made me think of.
oh yeah.
All right. So I have one more question, and then you guys can go back to the Civil War here. So when we were on the second point of Rialto or Oasis there, and it seemed like the Lobsters were pretty much had found their footing in this match. Then they had that 5-man EMP, and they didn't find any kills from it. Was that like, did you guys all kind of look at that as a moment that kind of flipped the entire momentum, that they were not able to get anything from a EMP so huge?
Uh, I think just generally once we swapped off the original comp we were playing, and then we started playing. We just swapped to the raw comp. That's when we really found our footing and realized that yeah, we can pretty easily run them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, well,
Yeah.
congrats on the win, Monarch. Hopefully, I never have to cast your DPS ever again.
No
Good luck on
promises.
good luck at the rest of the season, buddy.
We're gonna
Thank
make
you,
sure
thank
you
you.
cast his DPS
No.
player the rest of the
No.
rest of your life. Okay.
Next time I'll be on May. Trust.
Oh no.
The world needs to see it.
The world does need to see it. And again, thank you, Monarch, for coming in. That was Monarch from the Midnights. They win tonight over the Louisiana Lobsters in a straight sweep. Navino, just any last thoughts on this first game of the season for both these teams?
Melbourne looks pretty solid. Lobsters have some positive things to work on. Like so they had, even though they did lose pretty convincingly, like they had some bright spots that I think can be worked on, and like specifically like versus like their 6-man looked pretty all right. It just focus fire I think was a theme for them. Outside of that, I don't really have much.
Yeah, you meant we both mentioned it or talked about it. It seemed like individual play, they were doing good or fine in most cases. However, when it came to trying to just make that a whole team play, they really struggled. A lot for them to learn. However, on the other hand, the Midnights were just on point with their team play. and it just showed throughout the entire series. That one little hiccup on the second point of Oasis is the only bad thing I can necessarily talk about for them.
Yeah.
Other than that, they had, in my opinion, a perfect performance tonight.
Yeah. I mean, they did give up first point. Kingsrow, you know, they lost the perfect. Like if they had full health KR, they actually would have not given up a point in the entire series. But they messed that up, you know, rest in pieces. But still really good showing, really dominant showing. I'm excited to see the rest of the matches, and I will.
Yeah, so that will do it for us here tonight at League Zero. But remember, everyone, make sure you tune back in tomorrow, as we will have another game at 8 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday night, where we see Genetic versus the, is that Red Evil or Red Veil?
Yeah, Red Veil.
Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna be another exciting game tomorrow night. Make sure you follow everyone here. Make sure you follow League Zero here on Twitch, so you know when we go live. Navino, any last thoughts before we get out of here? Or any shout outs?
You know, shout out to all the managers that are dealing with these shenanigans this season. And shout out to the players for not at all. Oh my God, I'm getting pinged with so many memes of me just walking in the hall. I had no idea you got that on stream, bro. Like,
yeah. I'm kind of happy that I'm kind of happy I haven't been here long enough to be memed yet. But I'll let you finish it. I'll let you finish your show.
No, I'm good, man. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah,
it was a great game.
I want to shout out Knock on Wood for producing this. I want to shout out Ali for Alianos for bringing me in. I want to shout out you, Navino, for being my co-cast tonight. You are amazing. I want to shout out everyone who came here to watch this first game of Season 5 for League Zero. It was a great game.
Yeah, it was fun.